Welcome to Bama Overlanding. I'm Derek, and I'm going to be your host here over the next several months, and hopefully years, as we come into our journey of overlanding. We all have friendships that we've developed over years that we start to sway away from, and this particular journey is going to be my way of hopefully rekindling one of those older friendships with somebody from an area I moved away from. We're going to get together and go around the country, do some different overlanding journeys, and see what we can't get ourselves into. Our first trip is going to be in a couple months here in either February or March of 2025, so stay tuned as we get to that. But before we get there, we've got to get my 2021 Toyota Tacoma ready for overlanding. How are we going to do that? Well, I've got a couple of good mods that are planned for the future here. A lot's going to change. I'm going to have to learn a lot because I am 100% a noob and a complete novice at this. So, judge me in the comments below all you want. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes here. But here's the rig. A 2021 Toyota Tacoma V6 four-wheel drive. This particular truck I bought in 2021, which was very difficult to get due to the pandemic. The dealership that I got it from tried to tack on a $5,000 price market adjustment. Whatever, they wanted $5 extra K for it. I didn't end up paying that, but it made for quite an interesting journey when we picked it up. But overall, when this truck came from the factory, there's a few things that you'll notice that are different that the SRs have that this particular one behind you doesn't. Number one, first thing that I did was change out the wheels and tires. It comes with the steel wheels from the factories, the little 16s. These are the 17s off of TRD Sport, wrapped in brand new BF Goodrich rubber. I sell tires, work in the tire industry, so obviously that was my first change. Aside from that, you'll notice on the front end, I have removed the front air splitter that goes here. Very ugly when it came from the factory, if you ask me, so that came off. You'll also notice I've added some recovery points. These are just some real cheap shackles that I got off of Amazon with some brackets that go directly onto the frame rails. So just something to give us a little something to grab onto if we happen to get stuck in any off-road situation. I'll go ahead and take you around the truck now, and we'll show some of the different changes that have been made. All right, so you will notice that this truck has fog lights. It didn't come from the factory with fog lights. The SR doesn't. But a wonderful thing about the 2021 is it comes pre-done with the wiring for it. So all you have to do is buy the fog lights themselves, and they clip into the factory mounting locations. Copy off the tripod here. So with those fog lights, if you notice, if we come on to the inside, I have replaced the light stalk, so it shows that the fog lights are on when they're on. So, completely factory as far as the fog lights would go. You'd have no idea that they didn't necessarily come that way. So, another thing you'll notice up front, I've replaced the SR grill. This is the grill that comes on the TRD Pro in this particular generation of Toyota Tacoma. Some people don't like putting those on the lower trim levels. I don't see any problem with it. If you actually look at the part number from Toyota, it lists it as the Heritage Grill. So even they know it's just harkening back to the older Toyota pickup trucks. I'm not trying to say that I have a TRD. I'm definitely not trying to say that it's a Pro. I just like the Heritage Grill. Looks a lot better in my opinion. So moving on from there, maybe one day we'll get into what's behind the flag there, but as of right now, all you have to know is American Pride. So if we come in to the cab of my Toyota Tacoma, let's get it to stop buzzing there. It is the cloth. Nothing special. Very utilitarian trim. You will notice here that I have a knockoff of a pedal commander. This particular one is on Amazon. I can go ahead and throw a link down below if you guys are interested in it. Significantly cheaper than the pedal commander. Has all of the features of the original one. This one so far, I've very much enjoyed, helping get rid of that terrible pedal that the Tacoma has from the factory. But my main mod in the interior, you may notice down here, is the GMRS radio. You look up in the corner there, we've got the antenna on the outside for it. I 3D printed this bracket that would allow me to drop it in the center console area so that I can use one of the unused slots that was in the dash here. So I went ahead and plugged the radio. That way we don't have any drilling involved. We were in a fuse tap under the dash into one of the fuses that is controlled by accessory power. So the radio will turn on when the vehicle gets power. Overall, I absolutely love this radio. It's a Rayodity. This is the DB25G. So far, I've been able to hit a repeater about 15 miles away from here. Absolutely no problem. Picking up people loud and clear, so I'm excited for our off-road communication there. Moving back outside in our Tacoma, I'll come around to the bed, and you may notice this SR has bed lights. This is another situation where they did not come from the factory with bed lights. There was just a plastic cover there. But just like our fog lights, wonderfully, all I had to do was buy the Toyota factory part, which was pretty cheap. I think I got these off eBay for about $40 shipped. Went ahead, plugged them in, and they turn on automatically when the doors open, just like the bed lights on your higher trim level in your Tacoma. Well, like I said here, we have the four-wheel drive V6 variant of the Tacoma. It was very important for me to get that. As you know, with the Pedal Commander mod that we have in there, there's some issues with power in the third generation Toyota Tacoma as far as that electronic throttle and whatnot, and it's even worse with the four-cylinder. So I wanted to make sure that I had the better engine in this situation. And obviously, if we're going to be doing any type of off-roading, four-wheel drive is going to be necessary. Another look here at our TRD Sport wheels, which I very much like. I do think that we're going to do some sort of rock rail or rock slider or step or something on the side here. So let me know what you guys think down below. I don't necessarily know if I want to do a complete rock slider or if I want to do some sort of step. It's all going to depend on how the look goes with everything. Addition that is going to be coming hopefully real soon here in the channel. I've linked up with another YouTuber, and I'm going to be able to hopefully get a rooftop tent. So the rooftop tent will be the biggest addition for our overlanding gear. So obviously that's going to be a very important part. We've got to figure out how we mount our tent on top there. We need to figure out, heck, load leveling springs probably or something. Airbags maybe. Not 100% determined there, but we are going to be adding some weight to the bed of our Tacoma, so we need to make sure that we keep it riding correctly. Another thing there, I've got the shark fin antenna up top. That shark fin antenna is going to be a problem. The tent that I'm looking at is very large, so it's going to have to most likely come over the cab a little bit. So most likely I'm going to have to delete that shark fin antenna. Not 100% sure how that's going to go, but we'll figure that out together. Thank you everybody for joining me on the first video on this new channel. It's going to be a wonderful journey over the next several months as we get this Toyota Tacoma ready for overlanding. Any suggestions that you have, feel free to leave them below. Any suggestions on places to go would be a wonderful thing. Our first trip's most likely going to be into the Talladega National Forest here locally in Alabama. But over the years, we're going to get all over the country, see a bunch of destinations, a bunch of places we want to scratch off that bucket list. So any suggestions would be wonderful. Thanks guys, please like, comment, and subscribe.